Hello, fellow bakers. Today we embark on a wonderful journey. We're making a cake from scratch. Don't worry, it's easy. Baking is like magic, but tastier. You mix simple ingredients. Then you bake. The result, a delicious cake. It's so satisfying. Let's get started. This recipe is perfect for beginners. It's simple, it's delicious. You can do it. Are you ready to begin? Let's gather our ingredients. Before we start, let's gather our ingredients. This step is crucial to ensure that our baking process goes smoothly and efficiently. By having everything ready and within reach, we can focus on the fun part, baking. This ensures a smooth baking process. Imagine the frustration of realizing you're missing an ingredient halfway through. By organizing everything now, we save time and avoid unnecessary stress. We don't want to be searching for flour mid-mix. Here's what we need. Let's start with the basics and work our way through each ingredient. Flour, 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Flour is the backbone of our cake, providing structure and texture. Make sure to measure it accurately for the best results. This is our cake's foundation. Sifting the flour can help to aerate it, making our cake lighter and fluffier. Sugar, 1 cup of granulated sugar. Sugar not only sweetens our cake, but also helps to create a beautiful golden crust, for sweetness and a lovely golden crust. The sugar also helps to tenderize the cake, making it moist and delicious. Eggs, 2 large eggs at room temperature. Eggs are essential for adding richness and binding the ingredients together. They add richness and bind the ingredients. Room temperature eggs mix more easily into the batter, ensuring a smooth and even texture. Butter, 1/2 cup of unsalted butter, softened. Butter adds flavor and helps to create a tender crumb. For a tender and flavorful crumb, make sure the butter is softened to room temperature so it can be easily incorporated into the batter. Milk, 1/2 cup of milk at room temperature. Milk adds moisture to the cake, helping to create a smooth and creamy batter. This adds moisture and helps create a smooth batter. Room temperature milk blends more easily with the other ingredients, ensuring a consistent texture. Baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Baking powder is our leavening agent, helping the cake to rise and become light and airy. The secret to a light and airy cake. Make sure to measure it accurately to avoid a dense or overly risen cake. Vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Vanilla adds a warm, fragrant flavor that enhances the overall taste of the cake. For a warm, fragrant flavor, a little bit of vanilla goes a long way in adding depth and complexity to our cake. Have you gathered everything? Wonderful. Double checking ensures we haven't missed anything and are fully prepared to start baking. Now, let's preheat the oven and prepare our cake pan. Preheating the oven ensures it's at the right temperature when our batter is ready, and preparing the cake pan with parchment paper helps to prevent sticking, making it easier to remove the cake once it's baked. Before we mix, let's prepare our oven and cake pan. This ensures even baking. No one likes a soggy bottom. First, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. This is the perfect temperature for our cake. Next, grease and flour a 9-inch round cake pan. This prevents the cake from sticking. Use butter or cooking spray to grease, then dust with flour, tapping out any excess. Now, our stage is set for baking. Now comes the fun part, making the batter. This is where the magic truly begins. The process of combining simple ingredients to create something extraordinary is both an art and a science. It's a moment of transformation where individual components come together to form a harmonious blend. Before we dive in, let's take a moment to appreciate our ingredients. Each one plays a crucial role in the final product. Flour provides structure, eggs add richness and moisture, butter brings flavor and tenderness, and sugar sweetens and helps with browning. Together, they create the foundation of our cake. In a large bowl, cream together the softened butter and sugar. This step is essential as it helps to incorporate air into the mixture, resulting in a lighter and fluffier cake. The butter should be at room temperature to ensure it blends smoothly with the sugar. Use an electric mixer if you have one, or a whisk if you don't. An electric mixer can make the process quicker and more efficient, but a whisk works just as well with a bit of elbow grease. The key is to mix until the butter and sugar are fully combined and the mixture is pale and creamy. Cream until the mixture is light and fluffy. This step is crucial because it sets the stage for the texture of the cake. The more air you incorporate at this stage, the lighter your cake will be. Take your time and enjoy the process. This incorporates air for a lighter cake. The air pockets created during this step will expand during baking, giving your cake a tender crumb. It's a small detail that makes a big difference in the final product. Next, beat in the eggs one at a time. Adding the eggs gradually ensures they are fully incorporated into the batter, preventing it from curdling. Each egg should be mixed in thoroughly before adding the next one. Then stir in the vanilla extract. Vanilla adds a wonderful depth of flavor to the cake. It's a small addition, but it makes a significant impact on the overall taste. Make sure to use pure vanilla extract for the best results. Remember to scrape the sides of the bowl. This ensures that all the ingredients are evenly mixed and there are no pockets of unmixed butter or sugar. It's a simple step that helps achieve a uniform batter. We want all the deliciousness incorporated. Every bit of the batter should be smooth and well mixed, ensuring that each bite of the cake is as delicious as the last. In a separate bowl, whisk together the flour and baking powder. This step is important because it helps to evenly distribute the baking powder throughout the flour, ensuring that the cake rises evenly. This ensures the baking powder is evenly distributed. Baking powder is a leavening agent that helps the cake rise. By mixing it with the flour, we ensure that it is evenly spread throughout the batter, giving the cake a consistent rise. Now, gradually add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients, mixing until just combined. Don't overmix. Overmixing can develop the gluten in the flour, resulting in a dense and tough cake. Mix just until the flour is incorporated for a tender crumb. Finally, slowly add the milk and mix until you have a smooth batter. The milk adds moisture and helps to create a smooth, pourable batter. Mix gently to avoid overworking the batter. Our cake batter is ready. Take a moment to admire your work. The batter should be smooth, creamy, and free of lumps. It's now ready to be poured into a cake pan and baked to perfection. Enjoy the process and the delicious results. The transformation begins. Baking your masterpiece. Our batter is ready for its time in the oven. Pour the batter into the prepared cake pan. Spread it evenly with a spatula. Carefully place the pan in the preheated oven. Now, we wait. The cake will bake for about 30 to 35 minutes. But how do we know when it's done? Let's talk about that next. Testing for perfection. Is it done yet? This is the moment of truth for every baker. The anticipation builds as you peer into the oven, hoping to see a perfectly risen cake. But how can you be sure it's ready? While the cake bakes, the aroma will fill your kitchen. It's heavenly. The sweet scent of vanilla and sugar mingles with the warmth of the oven, creating an inviting atmosphere. This is one of the joys of baking, the way it transforms your home into a haven of delicious smells. But how do we know when it's perfectly baked? Timing is crucial, but so is the method of checking. You don't want to open the oven door too often, as this can cause the cake to sink. Instead, rely on visual cues and the trusty toothpick test. After about 30 minutes, insert a wooden skewer or toothpick into the center of the cake. This is a tried and true method that bakers have used for generations. The skewer should go in smoothly and come out clean if the cake is done. If it comes out clean, the cake is done. This means the batter has fully set and the cake is ready to be taken out of the oven. A clean skewer is a sign of success. If there's batter on the skewer, it needs a few more minutes. Don't rush this step. Patience is key to achieving the perfect texture. Give it another 5 minutes and check again. Once baked, remove the cake from the oven. Use oven mitts to protect your hands from the heat. The cake should have a golden brown color and a slight spring when you touch it. Let it cool in the pan for 10 minutes before inverting it onto a wire rack to cool completely. This step is crucial as it allows the cake to firm up and makes it easier to handle. Cooling prevents the cake from breaking when you frost it. A well-cooled cake is the foundation for beautiful decoration. So be patient and let it cool completely before you start frosting. Enjoy the process and the delicious results. Decorating delights, unleashing your inner artist. Now for the fun part, decorating. This is where you can express your creativity. You can keep it simple with a dusting of powdered sugar, or get creative with frosting, sprinkles, and fresh fruit. Use a piping bag to create beautiful designs with frosting. Add sprinkles for a festive touch, or arrange fresh berries for a touch of elegance. Let your imagination run wild. Sharing the sweet reward. Time to indulge. Our cake is ready. Slice yourself a generous piece and savor the flavor of your homemade creation. The taste of a cake made with love and care is simply unbeatable. Share this delicious treat with your loved ones. The joy of baking is best shared. See their faces light up with each bite. It's the perfect ending to our baking adventure. Baking bliss, the joy of homemade treats. Baking from scratch is more than following a recipe. It's about creating something special. It's about the aroma filling your kitchen, the anticipation as the cake bakes, and the joy of sharing your creation with others. Even if it doesn't turn out perfectly, remember, every bake is a learning experience. The most important thing is to enjoy the process. So, put on your apron, preheat that oven, and experience the magic of baking. A challenge for you. Share your baking triumph. I challenge you to try this recipe. Share photos of your creations. Tag me on social media. Let's inspire each other to bake more. Until next time, happy baking. Remember, baking is about having fun. Don't be afraid to experiment and, most importantly, enjoy every bite of your delicious creations.